This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. There he is. Manny, you were probably listening there on deck as we just started the post-game show. I'm starting to see the Canes characteristics that we used to see of a really good Canes team, and that's what I kind of saw today in dominating South Florida.
Yeah, it didn't matter when they made the mistakes. They never let it rattle them, and they were in control from start to finish. And I think that's, to me, I mean, right off the bat, the opening drive, I said that's what a number 5 ranked team is supposed to look like. And exactly. I think that set the tone for the day, right? They took the ball right down the field. Carson Beck was 5 of 5 for 60 yards on that drive with the touchdown. And I think this shows you that this is a different Miami team. They just are. This is different than we've seen the last few years, where even when they, were doing great with Mark Richt and 10-0 or 11-0 going into that Pittsburgh game, you still didn't really feel great. You didn't feel confident. This is a different level of confidence with this program right now.
Yeah. And by the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching there as we do a little overtime work for you all here on a Saturday as the Canes get it done 49-12. Carson Beck, the 2 interceptions he threw, he was actually kind of you almost can't even blame him in a way because he was being interfered in the process. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was kind of interesting. He played a really good game. Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes. It didn't faze him. The running was, it was awesome. But like I mentioned before, Manny, maybe we lay off a little bit of that running a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know the thing is the mobile quarterback, but baby, when you got blockers and you got a running game and you got as many receivers as he has now, tranquilo, papa, tranquilo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little worried because that last hit, he put his shoulder into it, and I'm like, yo, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know what got into Mario. I'm thinking he wasn't happy with some of the antics USF was pulling on the defensive line to get the offensive lineman to jump early. There were 5 false start penalties on Miami today. And when you look to see what was going on, I'm glad the CW broadcast finally kind of talked about it. But it looked like the USF players were doing some antics at the line to get them to jump. And I think Mario didn't like it too much. And so he kind of wanted to make sure that he delivered a message to Alex Golish, like, hey, brother, we're going to keep scoring. We're going to keep throwing the ball. And, Carson Beck shouldn't be running too many RPOs. He should be protecting that throwing shoulder for sure.
Yeah. That one was one that, the defense, brother, what's it called? Ruben Bain and the boys got after it. You knew you had to stop Brown. You could not make him that factor that he is for South Florida. He is the straw that stirs the drink. They shut that shit down. Yeah, he made a couple of plays. There's no doubt about it because he's going to make some plays. But overall, they didn't allow him to do some of the things he's done in the first couple of weeks.
13 carries for 2 yards when you add up the sacks and everything else. 40 yards rushing for them as a team. We knew that basically he was the offense, right? When it came to running the football, he was a leader in a whole lot of categories. And anytime they wanted to go to him, whether it was 4th and 2 with a design run, whether it was, him scrambling, it felt like Miami was ready for him. And that's a tip of the cap to Corey Heatherman, right? Like how often have we seen former defensive coordinators here struggle against running quarterbacks? And I think that was sort of a pleasant sign to see that this was a disciplined defense and really good at maintaining their gap integrity, which is what you got to do to stop quarterbacks like Byron Brown.
Mark Fletcher.
Oh yeah. Grown ass man running the football. Move out the way.
That was, get out the way. Get out the way. Boom. Get out the way. Yeah, that was fun, dude. That was fun to watch. And by the way, catching a couple balls too at the same time, showing a little versatility. But that one touchdown run, boy, that was sweet. That was sweet.
Yeah, and I think 16 carries for 120 yards. When you look at the complete body of work, I got to look at
big touchdown run, bro. That shit was nasty. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say what I really liked about that touchdown run was the blocking downfield. You saw Malachi Tony, the 17-year-old freshman, sealing the block there, and then Keelan Marion, who's a guy who's known for speed. Again, it's what it's supposed to look like when you're good, right? Like it's what it's supposed to look like. And so I think that's the encouraging sign for me coming out of this game was I thought Miami wins this by
Receiver
30.
coach? Who's the
What's that?
receiver coach? Who's the receiver coach?
Oh God, who is it? Oh, Kevin Beard for Miami. Kevin
Oh,
Beard.
you know what? Kudos to that man. He's got his guys playing receiver, all complete receiver, not just waiting for the football, contributing in other areas and blocking. That is kudos to Kevin Beard to get his guys to do that. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and look, you talked about the interceptions earlier. Malachi Tony, I think he got in the way of a pass intended for Tony Johnson. And look, that's a 17-year-old kid trying to make over. The fact that he even got a hand on that ball, with the ball as high as it was incredible. But look, Carson Beck still finished 23 of 28.
He was also being tugged on at that moment
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah,
Time.
yeah.
So yeah,
If not, he might have caught it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's it got away from him a little bit on two of those interceptions. He was being, interfered with at that point. So yeah, shit happens. So you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have some, false starts, whatever. But we've watched this team crumble and start to make all kinds of mistakes and start to kind of give in. And like I said when I told you last week when you were on, while we know that they should take care of business against teams like Bethune-Cookman, the fact is they've had lulls against all these bad teams over the last few years. And what you're watching here, you would have never seen last year, definitely the year before that, the maturity that they've shown, that they stayed focused for a really bad team, and then they bounce back and they see a ranked team and they go out there and they take care of business. To me, that's what I like about this team, the maturity, actually, for a young team. Malachi
mm-hmm.
Tony blocking, a young guy doing stuff like that. That is huge, dude. Huge.
Yeah, you need to have a lot of guys contribute. You got to have depth. And my concern coming into this game after the first two games was, do they have a number 3 receiver? Do they have a number 4 receiver? Because CJ Daniels and Tony had really, I think, done a phenomenal job through the first two games. But tonight you saw it, right? You saw other guys get involved. Keelan Marion with his blocking. He had 6 catches for 81 yards. You saw Josh Moore, the freshman, his sort of breakout performance, right? 2 touchdown catches early in that game, 3 catches, 61 yards for, in the game. And then Tony Johnson, the kid from Cincinnati, with the 51-yard catch and run. So I'm starting to see now they've got the kind of depth that you need to win an ACC championship. And that's reassuring to me. That's what I took away from this. And I thought Carson Beck, once again, yes, 2 interceptions, first 2 interceptions of the year, but so many freaking good decisions by that guy. Like he knows when to check down. He knows which receiver is going to break open over the middle when they're running bunch sets. Like he just has the perfect understanding of this offense. And yes, he had an interception today that I would blame him for. But the other one, I mean, again, that's like one mistake, and how many other great plays he's made so far through these first 3 games. And look, they're going to need him next week against Florida. They're going to need him on the road to Florida State. But I got confidence in this team now, man. Like I'm not. I've seen enough now where I'm beginning to feel like, okay, this is legit. This is not fake.
No, there's nothing fake about what you're watching now. This is definitely real. And what's also real, baby, go look at the ACC. Clemson lost today to Georgia Tech. One, it's a wake-up call to make sure Miami, you already lost to Georgia Tech last year. You got to make sure if you run into them, you got to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is Clemson now suffering their second loss. The ACC is there for the taking now for the
Yeah.
Canes. Okay?
Yep.
It's there
Yep.
for the taking.
That
Period.
October 4th game in Tallahassee is going to be huge because Seminoles right now are playing really good. I know they have a bye week this week, but they look like they've got their act together again. And it's exciting, man. Next week, I mean, I know the Gators right now, I think they were down 13-10 at the half the last time I looked at LSU.
It's 11:04 left in the third, 13-10 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to pull it out or not. They'll come in here next week, obviously hungry and not wanting to lose, but That game against the Seminoles in 3 weeks, October 4th, that's going to be an exciting football game. And I don't know, man. It's fun. It's fun to be a Hurricanes fan again, right? I mean, if you're a Hurricanes fan, this is what you were hoping for with Mario Cristobal, that you would be playing in big games and dominating teams you're supposed to dominate, and not looking like what the last 20 years have looked like a lot of times.
CJ Daniels looks like what, they knocked the wind out of him?
That's what I took away from it. I'm not. Somebody in the press box was saying they thought he got back into the game. It didn't look to me like a collarbone issue or
Oh,
clavicle. I think those
okay.
guys.
Here. We're checking there on the
It,
chest.
it, it to me, it was the chest, and but some, those internet doctors, bro, they were like speculating what happened, but I think he's going to be fine. Look, this is the kind of game where uh, you want to get out of it healthy, and I think for the most part they did. I didn't see anybody outside of Daniels get knocked out for any reason.
Yeah. By the way, I haven't been impressed with Lagway in this game against LSU. So he's got a
No, that
couple of
was a bad interception. I was watching that on my other screen, and
yeah.
not a good pick.
So I like what I'm seeing from the Canes. Now there are one thing that we have seen, if we can be critical, okay, I'm sorry, but I have to be objective. There are some lapses in the secondary, and you
Yeah,
gotta you gotta watch out with that. They've get again. It's not terrible. It's not what it's been in the past or anything, but they have given up a couple of plays, even last week. So
and I think that's going to happen sometimes. Though I think that's a part of, as college football fans, you have to accept it. Like, there's gonna be some plays where the defense RPOs especially open that up, right? And when you've got a mobile quarterback like Byron Brown, you might have somebody bite and want to come up and defend the run, and then they leave somebody open behind them. And I think those were all the instances where it happened today. There was only one other time where Byron Brown actually beat a DB with a great throw, and that's when OJ Frederick got beat down the sideline early for, I think, that opening field goal. But outside of that, they were busts, essentially guys making decisions to come up and run instead of staying where their man was. But that's going to happen in college football. In the end, you stopped them in the red zone. You only gave up
yes.
12 points, and you know what? This is a much better defense than the one we saw last year for sure.
Hey,
So
listen. Hey, let's give the Nimrod kid credit.
his
While
credit, yeah.
he has a funny name, he's no Nimrod on the field. The kid's he's
No,
an
he made some good catches for them. I think he finished. I'm looking at the numbers now. Four
Nimrod
catches,
would be a
128
star.
yards. So
Nimrod would be a star in this offense for the
oh
Canes.
yeah, to me he's kind of like their Keelan Marion, right? Like, he's kind of their speedster on the outside, a guy who can make plays. So, look, USF, we can criticize what they look like tonight. They played a legitimate top 5 team, but
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
still have a chance to make the playoffs. They could be the G5 team that makes it, the group of 5 team that qualifies. So Alex Golders has done a great job, but tonight they ran into a bulldozer.
Yeah. And they got me free Bitcoin because obviously I bet on them. I laid the 17.5.
Hey, listen, it
I was
happens. I did not have a good day today, myself. I'm hoping I put down some long shot bets here in the night games, some games nobody cares about, and I'm hoping that's where I catch some.
I actually like Minnesota at California laying the 2.5.
I took Cal in that game. I like the Cal's
Really?
freshman quarterback. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I haven't made the bet, but I was like, okay, well, I'm looking at it going, maybe I lay that. So you think Cal, huh? Hmm.
I think Cal at home. They're that young freshman quarterback. They got him from Oregon. He was supposed to be at Oregon, and when Cal's quarterback Mendoza took off for Indiana, he switched schools, and he looks like the real deal through the first 2 weeks of the season. We'll see tonight. Minnesota's got a good defense. They can run the football. Darius Taylor's a great running back for Minnesota. He's an NFL guy. Oh, you should be scouting him for the NFL purposes. But
Hey,
that freshman
I'm watching
quarterback is good.
Fletcher. He's an NFLer too, bro.
Yes.
Fletcher is an NFLer, bro. That's a man and a half running. And by the way, while Brown got 9 carries, I kind of like that they still were able to spread it out, getting Pringle in there, and they still were able to, like, yeah, Fletcher was the main guy, but they still were again, what I love about Mario, 205 yards. He gets it, dude. 205 yards rushing for your team. So it wasn't only Fletcher. Other guys had, some success and really helped the team out on the ground. That's an attitude that comes with it. Like tomorrow, the team that I watched there,
Yeah.
it's a finesse ass team. They
Yep.
they don't have that attitude like we're gonna line up and we're gonna punch you in the mouth. And
Yep.
that's one of the things that I like about the Canes. It wasn't only Fletcher; they were able to get other guys in there.
By the way, 7 runs of 10 yards or more tonight for the Canes, and 11 pass plays of 15 yards or more. So we saw some explosiveness from this group, and it's not just 14 plays, 75 yards.
Yeah.
Like they had chunk plays tonight, and that's a good sign as this offense continues to grow and get better with all the new pieces in it.
You're great on the offensive line's play today.
Obviously, not good to have those false start penalties. You had 5 of them, but I don't think they touched Beck, did they? Outside of when he ran outside the pocket on those RPOs.
DB got to hang on one of those interceptions there.
Yeah, but that was like a delayed blitz.
Right.
That
Yes.
wasn't even a blitz at the line of scrimmage. That was a delay, and he's just sitting back there surveying. I mean, most of the game he was surveying the field and had all day to throw. I mean,
Yes.
it's very much what Cam Ward said he felt like last year. It looks exactly the same to me.
Yeah. We talked about it on the show that if you can run the way they do and have the attitude of running, and you can block the way they do, and you give them weapons, every quarterback that comes through now they have the foundation for success. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And by the way, this is also another good look for the OC because
yeah.
he gets another guy, and while he's a good player, but the guy comes and doesn't miss a beat. Sometimes people switch teams and they have problems transitioning and all that, and that's Duque now for him. That's two guys that come in from somewhere else. They didn't have time to make the no, they had to make the transition right away, and that offensive coordinator has gotten 2 different quarterbacks now to
Yeah.
seamlessly have success with the Canes. Mad props for the OC. Mad props.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's gonna be some openings in college football, brother. I don't know if you've seen some of these records.
Don't start with that shit, bro. It's 3-0. Don't do that to me. And you wait till the off season.
Hey, listen, have you seen that Virginia Tech score? Have you seen that Virginia Tech score?
I saw it, dude. They lost 55-16, right? Or no, that's William and Mary. What was it?
Virginia Tech is down like 38-13 right now.
Oh yeah,
and
that's the one that's going on right now.
they're
Yes,
losing to Old Dominion. And look, I just wrote about UCLA this morning. They're 0-3. They've lost 2 games to Mountain West teams and back-to-back. They lost 35-10 yesterday to New Mexico. So my guess is
I'm used to UCLA disappointing me. I'm
right.
used to UCLA falling. This has been for years now that you talk up UCLA, you talk it up, but they never really do anything, dude. They'll surprise a little bit, like with Mora a few years back, just a little bit, but really overall, it's you got a beautiful downtown. Great. Enjoy.
I'm just
Right.
saying, brother, there's gonna be some job openings pretty soon.
You're right. I just don't want to think about that right now, bro, because things are going well right now. They actually found the defensive coordinator. By the way, let's give the defensive coordinator a little love because it was an absolute disaster last year, and now we are watching an absolutely different team now on defense.
Yeah, it really is. And I thought today, the defensive line is what impressed me the most. They just kept rotating dudes in there. And again, anytime Daniels wanted to take off and run, Byron Brown wanted to take off and run, it felt like those guys knew exactly what to do, where to collapse into to close those gaps. And that was really impressive. There's so many times I've seen that Miami defensive line look undisciplined, right? They don't go where they're supposed to go. And it was impressive. Mesidor, Bain, who played a really good game is Chase Smith, the linebacker. I thought he was phenomenal. He's a guy who's been injured his whole career at Miami. He had a really good game for the Hurricanes. Jacoby Thomas had the forced fumble as a safety. So, look, they just beat a team that beat the mighty Florida Gators from the SEC, and they dominated them.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive, dude. Impressive. All right, so And by the way, it looked like they're coming out of this pretty clean for the game against the Gators next week.
Yeah, I think outside of CJ Daniels getting the wind knocked out of him, I didn't see anybody else really that's a starter or a major, player get knocked out of this game because of injury. So we'll see what happens. There's always bumps and bruises. JoJo Trader did not play in this game. I don't think he dressed out. Jordan Lyle was dressed out. He was on the sideline, didn't end up playing, but it's football, man. There's always people bumped with bumps and bruises, and who knows what's gonna happen.
But it's all good news because they missed and you didn't miss a beat. Other guys stepped in. So, JoJo's out and here comes Joshua Moore, just like, okay, here I am, dude, 2 touchdowns. And so, stuff like that, I think is just great. And by the way, CJ Daniel putting up a show. It's like every week he has a highlight reel. By the time he's done, it's going to be beautiful. They're going to put up a hell of a highlight reel with that kid. Jesus Christ, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. He's another shining example of a transfer who's come in here and really locked down a job and proven that he can play better at Miami than somewhere else. And that's another guy that when you go into the portal and you say, hey, you're looking for a receiver to come in here next year and be another veteran, replace CJ Daniels, be like, hey, look what we just did with this guy. He couldn't get on the field at LSU and do anything meaningful. Look what he did for us, right? So again, when you look at it from a program perspective, this is the kind of stuff that between Carson Beck, CJ Daniels, having a Francis Maui Noah, a Ruben Bain homegrown product, so to speak, this is all helping for future recruiting classes and helping Miami find pieces when they need to replace them.
Manny_Navarro on Twitter. And you're not on again till Friday, obviously, because we'll be doing another post game for the Gators game. So what are you working on The Athletic all week to get Canes fans prepared?
Yeah, well, look, I'll be writing a piece on, I'm going to have a column off of tonight's game at some point. I got to go downstairs and listen to the rest of the press conferences. And then, at some point here in the next few weeks, I'm going to have a piece on which program in the state is ready to win a national title again. Who in the state of Florida is ready to step up? I think the team in orange and green might be the answer.
Oh, yeah. It's back, baby. It's back. It's feeling good. Yeah, at least the ACC, okay?
Yes.
And get in the playoffs and be in the mix. I had them at 11-1 and in the ACC championship. I'm thinking now they can actually even win the ACC now. If they're playing like this and they're playing mature and smart and they're passing all these tests, I love it, bro. I think they've got a chance now to really put themselves in a nice position for the playoffs. So that'll be really cool. Manny, go do your thing, my brother. Appreciate your insight, man. Thank you.
Take care, man. See you soon.
Thank you, sir. And of course, Caneswear, baby. Go check it out. Tell them that I sent you, my man. Nobody better than, of course, Brett and all the great people out there, Jeff, and they just know how to get it done. Go see my friends at Caneswear, man. Use our code BIG010. You will get anything and everything with the Canes logo on it, baby. That's what it's all about. They've got Dolphin gear, Panthers gear, Panthers championship gear, InterMiami gear. I don't know if they have chokers, InterMiami chokers. If they do, you can purchase one of those because it really goes with the team. I'm not sure. They also have Marlins gear, all that kind of stuff. Go see Brett and all the great people out there at Caneswear. And I'm telling you, from shoes to jerseys, shirts, hats, tank tops, you name it, clocks, whatever it is. They got practically anything and everything with the Canes logo on it at Caneswear. And remember, online at caneswear.com, you can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. And if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. And in person, use our code BIG010.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.